What's going on, guys? And welcome back to the TCR podcast. I'm your host, Danny Flores. Que rollo con todos ustedes. Today, we have a wonderful, controversial, most hated, I'm just kidding, guest here in the podcast. And she goes by Rosali Delgado. Hey.
That's my legal name, so that's why I go by it. Hi, guys.
What's up?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. It's a long time coming. We've had some obstacles for me getting here, but yay.
Yeah, it's been, guys. So for those that don't know, let me just put this out there right now. I planned Rosalie to come to the podcast, like to be my first guest, but you know, life happens and no se pudo. So now we have her here on the podcast.
You know, sometimes it's better to just come when you can.
Is this your first podcast?
It's my first podcast, and I hate hearing my own voice, so I'm like, cringe. You guys have to hear this? Oh, no wonder no one watches me anymore. Just kidding.
They're like, hell yeah, you're right.
No wonder Facebook blocked me. No, I'm just joking.
No, but wait, you're not blocked.
No, I'm not blocked anymore. Okay. I got my page remonetized, fixed. Oh my gosh, it was a headache, but thank you, Facebook, very much. We love you. We love Facebook.
We'll get into that right now because I do want to hear more about the whole blocking thing. But as always, let's start with the simple basic questions. And people, if you're watching this for the CHISME, hold on. We have a whole last segment. Espérase.
We're gonna make you go through the boring stuff before you get the good stuff.
For real. No, but first things first, for the people that don't know you, where are you from?
So I live in Salem, Oregon. I call it Horrigan because if you put a W-H in front of it, it's whore and then again. But it's Oregon, and it's the state. If people don't know, they call it Oregon. They're like, oh, I want to go to Oregon. And I'm like, I've never been there, but I live in Oregon.
I've never been to Oregon.
No, it's beautiful. It's green.
It's always raining.
You know what? It is rainy. Seattle, Washington would be a little rainier, but I love it because it's like, I live in the valley, so like in 45 minutes I can be on the ocean. In 45 minutes I could be in a mountain skiing, or another 45 minutes I could be in the Oregon desert. Like I have it all around me, so it's really nice. It's beautiful. It's I like it there. But I was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco.
Hey, shout out.
Yes, soy tapatía.
Shout out.
The Chile. No, I'm just
joking. Relax.
No, just joking. No, not sponsored. But so I've been here. I'm 37 years old. You didn't even ask. I'm like,
no, 37. That was honestly, you want me to be real with you? That was my other question. Literally after that one, like, how old are you? But I was like, is it rude to ask people how old they are?
Not if you're proud. I feel like when you lived a life that like you've gotten through shit, you're almost proud. You're like, oh, I made it 37 years through this. Dang, I'm gonna be here forever. I'm a vampire. No.
Okay, so Oregon. You grew up in Oregon and everything, or besides Mexico?
Well, my dad came to work in Los Pinos, so he did reforestation, and this was back in the late 80s when Reagan did the amnesty. So my dad got his. He came to work, and then he was able to apply for an amnesty, and then he was able to ask for me, my sister, and my mom to come. And I was 3 years old when I moved here, so I've lived in the United States my whole life, but I love going back to Mexico. I was born in Guadalajara, and the time that we lived there, I lived in Guadalajara for 3 years. But my mom's from a pueblo called San Luis Oyotlan. So it's like 45 minutes from Guadalajara. It's right off the Chapala Lake area, and they make the bombest vampiros. Like if you look up San Luis Oyotlan vampiros, there's like a guy that sells like vampiros there. Yeah. They're like bags full of alcohol, and the kids from Guadalajara come. My mom says they get toasted and then they drive home.
It's funny because when you said vampiros and then you said alcohol, I was like, wait. I know vampiros as like food, the tortilla, the tostada with cheese, everything. Yeah, but you said alcohol. I was like, okay, you lost me there.
Look it up. It's on TikTok. San Luis Soyotlan Vampiros. Or you just put San Luis Vampiros and it'll pop up. They're like famous for their vampiros. This man, he's like my dad tells me the story that he was like a poor man that just started a little fruit stand with making like the shot vampiros, the drinks. And now he's like a millionaire because like he went viral.
Damn.
I'm like, see y'all? Make us viral. We want to be millionaires.
Honestly. But it's so crazy to me that like you, for instance, your family decided to migrate to Oregon. And it's like mine was they migrated to LA. and then other people like Indiana, like we're all over.
Like, there's like a family of ours that migrated to Canada. Like, how do you end up in Canada?
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, can I go? Because I want some free healthcare. No.
Yeah, you see, that's one thing. Like Canada, I've heard of Mexicans being over there in Canada too, but like it's weird.
And then like we're everywhere, y'all. We're everywhere. I've heard that we're even in the UK.
Hey, no, seriously, I seen a TikTok of. Well, actually, they're not Mexican. Sorry, I think she was Colombian, but her Spanish was Colombian. But when she talked English, it was like from an accent. I was like, "Damn, how dope is that?"
I heard accents are contagious, and I believe so because sometimes one of my best friends, her name is Vanessa, and she's from the South. She's from Florida, and she has like a little Southern like twang to her. Yeah, so sometimes when we talk a lot, I start talking like her, and I'm like, I need to make friends with like European accents or español, you know.
Yeah.
It would help because I already have a natural lisp.
Mi corazón. When I wait, this is off topic, but have you seen Money Heist?
No, I heard it's really good though.
Well, yeah, it's from Spain, but when I watched it, I was like, I literally have an accent. It's the girls, right?
That it was at the people that like go into the bank.
Yeah, with the red suit. Yes,
I need to see it.
It's really good. If you guys haven't seen it, make sure to go watch it. Not sponsored, but no,
we need to get him a link for that one.
Every time I would watch it, like I don't know, I have a lisp out of a sudden.
Yeah, it's contagious. So we need to hang out with European people with cool accents.
Yeah, I mean, if you're here, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, just talk to me on the phone while I sleep, and then I'll wake up thinking.
Okay, so
next
so I don't want it to like question. No, but I want to know, how did you start on Facebook? Because I bet a lot of people don't do that. Like don't know how you started. Or I don't know if you told your story or not. But
it's been a long time. I do have on my page Rosali Delgado.
It'll be right here in the link description.
Link right here. And everybody unfollows it. Tomorrow I have 0 followers. I'm like, shouldn't have put it. No.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, cutting off. For people that don't know, how many followers do you have?
Like 2. I think I got a new one today, so 3, and then tomorrow I'll lose 4, so I'll be -1. Just the math. It's the math. I have 260 something thousand. I try not to look at the numbers because I feel like it can be very.
No, you're good. You're good.
I told Danny that we were going to be like.
Always ring, because if you guys can't hear, but in the headphones it sounds so good.
It sounds like crisp.
Yeah.
But 260,000. I try not to look at the numbers. Like because I feel like it can become very like you can, when you're up, you're like on this high, and then when you're not growing, you almost get like discouraged, and you are questioning your value and like, am I doing the right thing? Do people like me anymore? So I try to really focus on getting on and just having fun. I don't even look at how many viewers we have or anything. Because I feel like we have to kind of be thankful. Like if 2 people show up, those are 2 people that took time out of their day to watch you. They could have turned on their TV and watched anything else. You know? So I really try hard not to look at that. But my page is growing a little bit again.
Do you think it comes like it's growing now because your page is fixed?
Yeah, I think my page had some monetization issues back in the summer that I found out about. And then Facebook, they kind of put like a hold on my page for 90 days that ended up being like till now. But then they told me that my page was compromised and that I would just have to like completely be demonetized, that I could keep the page, of course, but the monetization part of it had been compromised because they couldn't figure out what happened. But this year I was invited to be part of a Facebook panel. I guess they choose people every year. And there's only 13 to 15 creators of different types. So there's like food people, there's lifestyle on there. I've seen a few gamers. And what Facebook does is they just get us once a month. We do a little video call, all of us, and we get to talk to the Facebook people, and they tell us like what they're working on, like how they're bettering the community, like they ask us input on how we could better the community. They tell us things that we're not allowed to talk about publicly, and then they tell us things and we're able to ask questions. So it's been really, I think, almost like a blessing that this happened, because it opened up doors for me, because I've had the back and forth conversation. That's what triggered them to invite me to be part of it. And I've been invited so many times to be a part of things with Facebook, and I always think they're scams, so I never answer. I'm always like, that's a scam.
Dude, I always think everything's a scam. I'm pretty sure the messages I get are scams.
The ones like, your page will be unpublished if you don't click this link. And I'm like,
yeah. And it's funny because it comes out as a notification.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out like from
Facebook.
It's like other people that make stupid ass pages.
And then they tag you.
Yeah. And then, but I have also received one, they hit you up, DM. I don't know if this is a scam or not. You could tell me maybe, but they hit you up, was like, hey, we want to place ads on your page.
And they want to give you like $5,000
yes,
a day.
I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, fuck, $5,000 a day, let's do it. But then I was like, okay, this is stupid.
I mean, if you think about it, it's realistic because there are people that make that much in 30-minute videos or 15-second TikToks, you know?
Yeah.
So you're like, the money's out there. There's a lot of money to be made in social media. It's just that you have to like, you got to like put that value to yourself. But if it's too good to be true, it usually is too good to be true. Mm-hmm. That's what I've learned. So
yeah. So sorry, we went on a tangent.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm Dory. I'm like, just keep swimming. Gosh. No copyright.
I know. Don't sing here.
I can't sing. I told him I sound like Beyonce, so a lot of times Facebook confuses me with Beyonce when I sing. So
yeah, that's why.
So we can't show the talents.
No, but going back to my original question was, so how do you start on Facebook?
So this was literally, I think, 2015, 2016. I had my back went out. So if you guys, I've been a makeup artist, a professional makeup artist my whole life. I studied makeup in Los Angeles. My first job in makeup kind of fell in my lap. I was in line at Target and I let a lady go in front of me because she had two things and I had a cart full. And she kind of looked at me and then she's like, your makeup's really pretty. Do you do your own makeup? And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, you should. And she gave me a card and told me, if you're looking for a job, come apply. We're doing open interviews. And I was like, okay. And so, like, I didn't know. I just, like, dressed normal and went to an interview. And I got a job at Mac as a third key in, like, 2006.
What does third key?
Third key's a management position. There's different layers, but third key means that you're able to like close the store, open the store, put in your code and give extra discounts. So if y'all wanted a discount, it's too late. I don't work there anymore. But that was my first job. And I remember when I got the job, I would tell people like I worked at Mac and they're like, oh, how did you get the job? And I'm like, oh, some lady gave me a card and I went to an open interview. Mm-hmm. The open interview was really nerve-wracking though, because I was supposed to take a model, but nobody told me. So I had to go into the store and find somebody that would let me do their makeup for the interview. And then they told me that I had to do like a business look and turn it into a night look. And I only had 30 minutes.
Damn.
And I was like...
That seems kind of hard.
It was. I'm like, I don't even 30 minutes. That's how long it takes for me to like brush my hair.
It's like they tell me, hey, you got to say the CHISME in 30 minutes. I'm like, oh shit.
This is like supercharged. Like, no. So I did it, and then the girl that I pulled ended up buying everything that I put on her because we ended up talking. And I have this thing where I like to teach makeup, but I also like to talk personal and then stop and I'm like, and then I'm blending and then I go back. And so when the interview was over, the girl walked up to the manager and said, I want to buy everything she put on me. And the manager called me the next day and she was like, do you want the job? And I was like, sure. It was part-time. I'm a single mom. I was going to nursing school at the time in Cerritos. I lived in Paramount at the time. And I worked at the Lakewood Mall. So you know LA.
Yeah, Lakewood.
Yeah, so those were my stomping grounds, and that's how I started. Well, I ended up having to move back to Oregon, and Mac wasn't at Macy's in Oregon, but they were in California. So the only position they could offer me that was comparable was for Clinique. So I ended up working for them for 11 years. I became a clinical skincare consultant, which meant that I worked closely with dermatologists to learn about the skin. I did that for 11 years, and then I decided to do freelance, and then I started working for brands like Laura Mercier, and I'm currently still working for a company called BPG, Beauty Prestige Group. They own Shiseido, Clé de Peau, NARS. Makeup girls know. Danny's like...
Yeah, I'm all lost. Like, are they good? Yeah,
they
for sure.
They own Hermes, Dolce & Gabbana. I think they just sold Dolce & Gabbana this year, but they own a lot of cool brands, and so I'm still in the makeup world. So my full-time job is being a makeup artist. But anyways, going back to the original question, how I started Facebook was standing in one place, my back. I have a really bad back. And my back went out, and I couldn't go to work. And so I was on a leave for like 3 weeks because I literally couldn't walk, or if I walked, I like stood like this because
Scoliosis?
my son has scoliosis. Maybe.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, he's getting surgery this summer. I'll tell you about that later. But they just said that because my back, I had so much back pain that I was favoring one side. So, and I took so long to go to the doctor being Mexican. I'm like, Mom, sobame, put me some vaporu, dame some té de manzanilla, like give me something, Mom. And so by the time I went to the doctor, I had to get shots in my back for like steroids, and I couldn't go to work. I was on a leave, but I was getting depressed because I missed makeup. But I remember that I was in a makeup group where somebody went live, and I was like, what? I've never seen this. And I'm like commenting, and she's like, yeah, Facebook just added the live option yesterday. Back then, the screen was like this big, and the comments were down here, and you could only go live for 30 minutes, and then it would automatically end, and then you'd have to start a new one.
Wait, hold on. What year was this again?
2015, 2016.
I swear they had lives.
It would just start, I think it was like day 2 of, look it up. When did live start?
Really?
It might have been earlier. You can go on my page. All my lives are still there. So I would go live on this page called Makeup Vanity Girls. And back then, makeup groups were it. Like, everybody was in makeup groups. And I would sit there and go live. So, like, I can go back literally and see my babies growing up on these lives, you know, like walking in the room and being like, Mommy, I'm hungry. So it's so cool. But I went live because I missed interacting with people. I was stuck at home. I was getting depressed. I've struggled with depression and anxiety my whole life. So I used Facebook Live as a way to like reach out and meet people and not feel like I was at home doing nothing, depressed. And it just became something. It was weird. I never expected it to become anything, honestly. I just thought it was like...
Did you see the numbers growing fast or like little by little?
I always tell people, enjoy your little, because if I remember when I started, I got like 10, 20 viewers, and I was so like, oh my God, 20 people want to watch me? What? Who am I? You know, that made me excited. Back then, it wasn't like now where there were pages. People went live in groups. So if the group grew, you grew, you know, like people watched you. And so I was in a group called Makeup Vanity Girls, and that's where I started going live. And then I got invited to be an admin in another group, and then that group was huge, and then there was drama. There's always been drama in the beauty. Like, it's always.
Where have I been?
Well, I told them let's talk about that. Let's talk about how Danny got to Facebook. Just kidding.
we could talk about that right now. But yeah, I mean, Facebook. No, I'll just wait. I'll just wait for
We'll wait till I have my questions.
Oh, wait.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah. Rosali does have questions for me. Yeah. I just don't, because I don't know if you saw the first podcast I made with Ryan. They were like, bro, this podcast was so self-centered. They were telling me that I was talking too much about myself. I'm like, not even, bro. But
it's because honestly, his person, you're more like, hablas más, and he's more quiet, so it's
probably
more, and here we are like pericos, like you know.
probably
like but anyways, yeah, that's how it grew. Like, it wasn't really like now, like where you grow on your page and know your numbers. You would just grow in the sense of, if the group is growing, you have more viewers. And then I got with a group of friends. I have like friends, and then we made our own page called Glamour Empire. So it's still out there, Glamour Empire VIP. And that group actually got taken down twice, but it was at its highest peak. The first one was like 500,000 people.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and we had so much fun. We back then you could play music.
I wish you could do that now. I know, it's so boring.
If you want to get paid, like, they don't want us to do it, I guess, or whatever. I'm like, but why does TikTok allow it?
Because they're a better platform, honestly.
But they pay less too. So.
Bro, yeah, TikTok does pay hella less, and it sucks. But I mean, you could get famous there faster than any other platform.
Yeah, but that's because they still have an organic reach, and like their algorithms are still 100% organic, and ours isn't anymore. But because of monetization, you know, if they imagine if they just give us all the views that we could get, they would be like, everybody would, you get money, Oprah.
And that would be dope though. But yeah they would go broke. So
but that's how I started. And I honestly, like, looking back, there are things that I'm like, I guess I've just always wanted to share my story. I've always wanted someone to listen to me. And I think growing up in a Mexican family, you know this maybe, Danny. I don't know if your family's like this, but like you don't really talk about sad things. Like if you like, you know, when when you'd get in trouble and you'd cry, your dad would be like, "Ven pa acá, te doy algo pa que llores."
Yeah.
So like you always had to like kind of like tough it out. You had to be tough. So being able to like connect with other people that on the internet that like message you, and you know this, people probably message you and tell you like, "Oh my gosh, like your story is so similar to mine." And then you find people that relate to you, and then you kind of start to grow that bond, that trauma bond. Therapist Rosali, I'm like, no more Dr. Drew, it's gonna be Dr. Delgado. But yeah, so that's how it started. And I actually, I honestly wish now looking back that I would have enjoyed that time of growth a little better, because I think everybody's in such a rush to like start their own page and grow and have collabs, and you miss out on those smaller moments. But also like I feel like I did kind of pioneer that, being that I started like on day 2. Like I was one of the first Facebook Livers, and I was growing really fast. I started my page, and then in late 2018, my dad got diagnosed with liver cancer, and it was really bad. And so I kind of stepped back on Facebook, and I would kind of go live, but only if I had time, because I became his caregiver. I became his appointment taker and making sure he had meds and making sure he was okay. It became like my world, and I kind of took a step back, and I don't regret it. Of course, I got to spend time with my dad, so I'm like, yes, I win that. But so and then my dad passed away, and then I came back, and I started just not doing so well, like emotionally and mentally with the grieving. And then there was a spiral moment, but we'll talk about that later.
Wait, you're gonna wait for the CHISME, huh?
We'll wait for the CHISME questions.
CHISME. Well, I'm sorry to hear your dad passed away. I know.
I tell people that. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
I interrupt a lot.
You're fine. This is your first podcast, so I don't expect you to be like.
I know. And Danny's trying to make it about himself. He's so self-centered.
There you go. Starting rumors.
Starting the drama. No, yeah. I feel like. I feel blessed because I hear stories of people that their parents are diagnosed with cancer and they lose them in a week or in a month.
Yeah.
And my dad he only had 10% chances of surviving 6 months with treatment. And I got him for almost 4 years. So I feel like those 4 years, because I had that hardworking dad that would come home, work all day, come home, sleep, and then get up and do it again. Like there wasn't a lot of interaction. I really got to know my dad those last 4 years. So I feel like, yes, it was sad and nobody wants their parent to be sick, but it was a blessing that I got to know my dad differently in his like last years. So, so yeah.
So now that we're in the topic of this, not a lot of people know this. There we go. Here, self-centered again. Not a lot of people know this, but my mom is actually a cancer survivor. Gracias a Dios. Like, thankfully.
Bless her.
I was like, I want to say I was 9 or 10, and she was in her late 30s, and she was going through it. Wow. But yeah.
It's a whole family. The family's healing. The family's fighting together. I think that's why whenever my followers come on and they tell me they're sick, like I literally am like, it literally like breaks my heart, because I know firsthand what it feels like to come home to a sick parent and like watch your parents go through it, because it eats them. Like when they're getting treatment, like it's like you're treating one thing, but you're breaking everything else. Like my dad couldn't eat sometimes, and sometimes he like was so weak, and sometimes he had all this energy, so it was very much a roller coaster. But I got to spend every single day with him for 4 years. So I definitely, I think I spent more time with him in 4 years of him being sick and giving him that care than I did my whole life, because he was always working. You know, Mexican dad gets home, works, tired, and wants to sleep and I remember like he'd come home and take off his boots and like take off his shirt and just sit on the couch with no shirt on and just fall asleep.
Did he live with you guys?
So I live like 1 block from my dad. So like his neighborhood and my neighborhood are like backyard neighbors. So like my kids are always over there, and like my kids were pretty much, I was a single mom. Well, for a while I was a single mom. I'm not a single mom now. I'm married, but
shout out to your hubby.
Yeah, he left. He's like, go be on the podcast. Thank you. He's that quiet, supportive husband that nobody really knows. Everyone's like, you can tell he doesn't want to be there, and I'm like, well, then he needs to go because I don't want no one around that doesn't want to be here. But he's just like really quiet, and he supports me quietly and everything. And sometimes I feel bad because I'm so like loud, and I'm like, be loud like me. But you know, like I feel like two loud people can't do it. We'd be like competing. We'd be like fighting like me and Danny right now for the mic. I'd be like, Mike, it's my mic. It's my mic.
I feel like that's what me and my fiance too, Amanda. For those that don't know her name's Amanda. She's the louder one. I'm introvert.
Really?
So yeah, she
has a really good voice too.
She does. I've heard that before. She does.
I was like, who is that? She needs to like make commercials and sell stuff.
Or do the like what's it called? The audiobooks.
Yes. I would read a book. She needs to do that. I'm gonna be like, Amanda, I'll pay you to read me this book at night.
And it's funny that we're talking about our spouses because that's another thing I wanted to bring up. But we'll save it for the CHISME time. We'll save it for the CHISME time. But
CHISME time.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you started on Facebook. Yeah. When did you hit, I don't know if you know, but when did you hit your first 100K?
I've never celebrated a number.
Oh, you never have?
I don't even know. Because that's not my focus, I guess.
That's not your MO.
Yeah, that's not what, I don't want to celebrate a number. I want to celebrate actual achievements, like, you know, like getting the opportunity to teach 6 makeup classes, all sold out. Back in 2016, I filled up a ballroom at a Hilton in Houston for 3 days in a row, you know, with as makeup. I love teaching makeup, so if people show up, I'll continue to teach. I recently started cooking. I love cooking too. I tell everybody I got bullied into cooking because growing up, like my mom worked and my dad worked, and my mom would prep the food for us so that we could cook it when my dad got home from work. So, and my sister hated cooking, so she would make me do it. And I imagine 8 years old in the kitchen making
that's hella young.
Carne asada and fucking frijoles. I'm like, you know. So I was like bullied by my family into cooking, and it became something now where I feel like, because I know I'm cooking the recipes that my grandma made and that maybe her mom made and that my mom learned from her, I feel like it's almost like it's a memory that you're like eating a memory. And if it doesn't taste like theirs, I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah, you got to put your own, como se dice, sazon to your
you have to have sazon to cook.
Yeah.
Even a recipe, you know? True. I have sazon. Do you have sazon?
A little bit.
I think Danny needs to do more cooking lives. I heard that you did some cooking lives.
No, I don't know. I'm into more CHISME space right now. I mean, back then on YouTube when I was vlogging and everything, I used to do a lot of cooking videos. But yeah, I don't know. I just stopped. I love cooking. It's just washing dishes is the worst part.
I hate it too.
I mean, yeah.
That's why I'm like cooking and cleaning, because if the kitchen's a mess when I'm done eating, I just want to chill. And then I look in the kitchen and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't want to go in there.
So would you say, would you say you do more cooking lives now than makeup lives, or it's 50-50?
Now it's 50-50. For a while, I hated makeup. I hated doing makeup. I think that a lot of people were starting to notice that I'd only come on to like do shopping lives or cook. I think because I was kind of like disgusted with the beauty community, because the beauty community wasn't beauty anymore. Dun. We'll get into the CHISME. But I was starting to resent makeup because it had brought some trauma to me. But I'm doing better, and I just had to like really put work into my healing and realize that it's not that like I love makeup. Makeup saved my life. It was how I raised my child as a single mom. You know, it was my job, and I love the fact that you can sit someone down that maybe doesn't feel that great, and then they look at themselves in the mirror after you've done their makeup, and they're like, they light up, like their like eyes are like, oh my gosh, like I never thought that I could look like this. Because, you know, I think makeup's like a Band-Aid while you're healing, like, what else is wrong with you? Because there's confidence issues. We all have them. All women have confidence issues, you know.
Guys, too.
Dun, dun, dun. But don't call him Chubba Wubba.
Hey,
actually, you know what? That is a really cute name. Actually, I'm like...
Right there, you see it?
I know. I saw that in, like, all the artwork over here. I'm like, you know, it's so funny how you can turn like, an insult into something, and it could be, like, a joke.
And it's funny because I'm literally going to make merch off of that. And I better not hear, where's my half of the... Hell no.
Where's my
Shut
hat?
up.
You get the only credit you get is from the credit bureau.
For real. But yeah, so what would you say your biggest accomplishment has been in your life so far? Because I know you say you don't celebrate like big numbers in social media.
Yeah, like I saw a really cute post of somebody with like the big numbers and the K's, and I was like, oh, I've never done that. Like, I can't ever picture a time that I'm like, oh my God, I made 10K followers. You know, like there's not that.
$10,000.
10,000. Look, right now I'll be lucky if I make 10 cents. But what was that question?
Your biggest accomplishment.
My biggest accomplishment, I think, has been, so I have a special needs child. He's 11. His name is Fabian. I think advocating for him on social media, and that's another thing that social media brought me, the ability to ask other mothers with children like mine questions on how they got through situations and relate through that. Because, again, being in the Hispanic community, you know, they don't really talk about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember, like, my mom one day was talking about one of my cousins who's also on the spectrum, and she's like, oh, tu primo está malito. And I'm like, malito? ¿Qué tiene? ¿La gripa or what? You know, like, I hate when people say
they
that.
They always say that.
I hate that. Oh, es que nació malito. And I'm like, ¿qué tiene? ¿Qué le pasó?
They either say that, it's like, or está curioso.
That means your baby ugly. If anybody ever calls your baby curioso or you curiosa, I know I'm curiosa as hell, but like that, they're calling your baby ugly for real. But Fabian has been my biggest accomplishment. When he got diagnosed, he was 4 years old. I think my oldest son had a speech impediment. I also have a lisp. And my grandfather was deaf. So we've always had like those type of problems and like hereditary family problems, like with speech and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when Fabian had a speech delay, I just thought it was like family. Like if Julian had it, I had a lisp and a speech delay. So like, I just thought that, because Fabian has always been so fun, and like when he's home, he plays, and like, so I didn't really notice anything different about him until I saw him around other children. Like he didn't want to play, or he was just kind of wanting to like be in his zone and nobody else. Yeah. But he's been my biggest accomplishment in life. I actually went against his doctors wanting to put headphones on him and put him in special schools, and I said no. Like, headphones, I'm not going to put headphones on him. He's never going to get used to sound.
Headphones because of the sound?
Sound, yeah. Oh, okay. So what I did was I told the doctor, let me do my mom therapy, and if it doesn't work, then we'll go with yours. Mm-hmm. So I slowly started taking him to louder places. And at first he would only like last like 15, 20 minutes and more. And now we go to Blazer games and movies and like concerts, and we sing sound. We like play the music loud and we like rock it out. And I guess for me, that he's been my biggest accomplishment, because he is literally like amazing. Like he's taught me like so much more than I can ever teach him.
That's good.
So Fabian Delgado is my favorite person in the whole world. My oldest is 20, so I don't like him so much. Can you believe I have a 20-year-old? And he's 5'6". We just measured him. He's like 5'5.5". Like, I mean, 6'5".
I was gonna say 5'6". Like, okay.
He makes. I'm 5'5". Like, I'm like an average size lady, you know. Mm-hmm. And he makes me feel like a tiny mouse when I'm standing next to him. And I'm like, that's my child. I gave birth to that. So
how many kids do you have?
I have 2.
2 only.
Yeah.
Okay, and 2 boys.
2 boys. Yeah, I'm a boy mom, and I like it that way. Boys are pretty fun. Like,
you never wanted a girl?
You know what? My biggest worry is that if I had a girl, she would be like me. I was a horrible adolescent. Like, let me tell you, if my parents told me not to do it, I would do it twice on purpose. Like, no hagas eso. And I'm like, I'm going to do it twice now. Like, I was boy crazy. I would skip school. Like, I'm like.
That would have been your karma.
I don't know. Like, I have the 2 most amazing children in the world. Like, I don't know how I deserve that, because I put my kids through so much hell. But my mom says it's like, even though I put them through hell, I was always there. Like, I was always like the daughter that was like taking them to appointments. I was like 11 years old taking my mom to like doctor's appointments, and the doctor would be like, can you ask her when the last time she had intercourse was? And I was like, Mom, the doctor wants to know.
That is so. It's like it's like every other parent too, like in the Hispanic that don't speak English.
Their kids do.
When you a carta te llega, is they would tell you to translate
I'm
it.
like, Mom, you're being sued.
Yeah. That's so funny that you brought that up because I literally just saw that on TikTok.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, that is so true.
I used to take my mom at like 9, 10 years old and interpret for her at doctor's offices for her like yearly. And you know what kind of questions they ask during your yearly. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. But, you know, that's kind of how I grew up. You just take care of family. Yeah. And I think that's also like what makes family so close because you know like, things about them when you're 8 years old.
I'm lucky enough. My parents are bilingual. They're from LA. So, yeah, I never had to translate for them because I would have been horrible. A horrible translator.
There's this guy on TikTok, I wish I knew the creator, where he's interpreting for his dad, and he's using the same words but in English, and he's like the words don't translate. Yeah. And the guy's like, "Why are you saying that?" I'm gonna send it to you. You're gonna die.
It's funny because the English words don't translate as the Spanish sometimes,
and they don't mean the same thing. In this, like, it depends on how you're using them.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some fun questions. Because I would like to know. Okay. So after a night of drinking or whatever you do, edibles. After a night of edibles, what's your go-to fast food restaurant for the late night munchies?
Okay. Well, see, for edibles, I have things like I love McDonald's French fries, like a large French fries.
Yes.
Like, and I like the fact that McDonald's, you get crispy and soggy fries. Like you get a little bit of all of it. McDonald's has the best fries, but tacos.
Yeah. Do they have tacos in
Okay, so you were talking about how like LA has the best Mexican food. I agree. LA has, because it's so close to Mexico that you get people that are literally like coming over and starting businesses like they were in Mexico. And you're able to import a lot of that actual authentic thing, but there is really good Mexican food in Oregon, and then there's some really not good Mexican food in Oregon. So you got to find it. My favorite place is called Taco Melon. It's in Salem. And it tastes like LA tacos. So,
really?
Yeah. Like you talk about King Taco, I'm like, yeah.
Is it? Are the owners from like LA?
They're from Jalisco, but they're originally from California. So, okay. Cool. And I used to pay, y'all. Can we talk about the prices of tacos going up? I used to pay $1 a taco, and now I'm paying like $3.50, and I'm like,
yeah, they're expensive. Back when I was in high school, there was a lonchera. There were 50 cents tacos, so 2 for $1. I was like, oh shit. And they were good.
Inflation. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's horrible right now. But yeah, you said your go-to is tacos.
And French fries. McDonald's French fries.
Okay. So another thing is, what song or genre of music reminds you of the best time or moment in your life?
Los Bookies remind me of my dad.
Those bookies. You can't go wrong with that.
There's this song called, I think it's called, I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, please.
We'll get in trouble.
Yeah, please don't play it.
But I'm going to tell you the name of it. I have a playlist. You guys, this is how corny I am. They're like, not corny. It's corny. I have a playlist called Dad. And the funny thing is I used to hate my dad's music because we would take road trips to California. Yeah. A lot of our family lives in Central and Southern California. We would take road trips from Oregon, which is literally like 24 hours in a car, right? And my dad would play the same Bookies tape, because back then it was tape. And then you'd put it in and then you hear it go, like to rewind. But Los Bookies, and the name of the song is Bookies. Oh, and I also love Joan Sebastian because of my dad. Yeah. But Los Bookies is Tu Cárcel. But there's one called I think it's called Morenita.
And then you start the TikTok.
That one's good. But Los Bookies, because it reminds me of my childhood. And back then I hated it. I remember that my dad, I like saved up I used to babysit. I saved up all my money to buy the Snoop Dogg CD, the one where it had like a cartoon, like it was like a comic book, and my dad found it, and it had like girl dogs with like
boobs.
And my dad was like, "Que chingaderas son estas?" And then he like ripped it up and threw it, and I was like, "Dad, you can't do that. I bought it with my money." But he threw it away because of that. He thought it was probably like something that starts with corn. Sounds like
corn. It's funny though that a lot of kids, a lot of people don't realize the music growing up. Like they hate it, but now we love it.
Because it meant you had to get up on Saturday morning and do quehacer. When I heard my mom playing music, I was like, oh, hell no. My mom's going to make me clean the bathroom and mop and sweep.
And was that the go-to music, Los Bukis?
Los Bukis, that was my mom and dad always played Los Bukis because my dad growing up, he had like he was super skinny and tall like my son Julian, but he had like the long Buki hair and his nickname was El Buki. They used to call him that when he was growing up.
Was his name Marco Antonio?
No, his name is Miguel, but they called him El Buki because he looked like El Buki, like the actual guy, Marco Antonio. And so whenever I think of my dad, I think of Los Bukis. But that is my song, La Morenita, because my dad used to call me Prietita, which now I'm like, because I have my sister's like, if you look at me and look at my sister, you would never know that we're related. I'll show you a picture later. Really? She looks like there's a huge Russian community in Oregon, and they actually would always be like thinking that she was Russian because she's like the fairest with like super light brown hair. I'm like, güerita. Ella es la güerita, and I was la prietita. So yeah, that was my song. What's your favorite? What's your favorite song? What's a song that like you think of that's like
growing up? No, it's not a song specifically, but it's a grupo. Have you heard of Los Dinámicos del Norte?
Yes, that's it.
That because my dad will play it in his car every single time, and he had like subwoofers, speakers, and he would just bump it.
You're like, there's a baile going down the street every day with your dad.
So and then they also said they listened to that type of music when my mom was pregnant of me. So
you probably like it's in your blood.
Yes,
it's in your DNA.
It's definitely, and I love this music now.
It's like what you listen to?
Yeah, just Spanish music.
I would, if you would have told me in my teens that I would be listening to music that my parents listened to, I would have said never. Absolutely not.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Never. I hate this music and I hate them and I never want to see them again. And now I'm like playing their music. The other day I was yelling at my son and I sounded just like my mom and I was like,
oops. Do you yell at them in Spanish?
Yes. Sometimes when I'm really mad, I'm like, no hace nada en esta pinche casa, huevones. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I just became my mom. And I promised myself I'm like, when I grow up and I'm a mom, my kids are going to love me. They're going to think I'm so cool. They still embarrass. It doesn't matter how cool you are, you embarrass your kids. So.
Yeah, that's every parent. Yeah. For me is shout out to my dad because he might be watching this, but he probably my dad that likes to I'm not going to say embarrassed, but like, okay, for example, he's done this a couple times and I'm like, please don't. Could it be at a barbecue? So in my community, we had like community barbecues and then like, go introduce yourself, tell them that you're a YouTuber or you do videos. Like, no, I'm not. This is not what we do. It's like, why? You're going to get more followers like that. I'm like, bro, that's not how you.
They're going to call you with the neighborhood chisme.
Yes.
Danny, cuéntales de la vecina que no me pagó la tanda. No, just
bro, my neighbor has chisme, but no, it's not obviously secret. But no, I'm like, that's not. I don't want people to know what I do. Like, they'll find me. Honestly,
like, so I work for a big brand, right? Mm-hmm. And whenever the companies come, my boss is always like, my boss, Amanda Reed, shout out to her. I love her. She's like my best friend now, but I've known her my whole career. But she's always like, tell them about your videos. And I'm like, no, because I say a lot of things.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things. And I'm like, yeah. And then they follow me and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I don't like when that happens.
But, it's my personality. And I know how to turn it off when I'm at work, but I'm like, ugh.
Then
so I get it. Yeah. Your dad's like, he's going to pass your cards around. My son's a chismoso.
Yeah, literally. He was like, yeah, he does a chisme report. Even at work, like when I was doing this part-time, he would be like, yeah, he does videos. I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, I see these people 8 hours a day. I don't want, no, please don't.
Don't do it. And then they start sending you real cheese. It's hard when you know the people. You're like, oh, man, I don't want to know your cheese with like that.
And then when they ask, like, okay, well, like, what do you talk about? I'm like, gossip. But like, what type of gossip? Like, if I tell you, you're not going to know because it's very specific gossip. You have to follow these people to know.
I talk about girls that do makeup.
Pretty much. Like, I never thought of that. That's pretty much what I do, huh? Talk about girls that do makeup.
Well, I feel like content has changed around so much on social media that now it's almost always lifestyle. Like, I feel like all pages are becoming more lifestyle pages. Like, people are showing more of their life of what they do. So it's not just makeup anymore, which is also like kind of like dying off the makeup community. But I still am going to do it. I feel like makeup videos do the worst, but I still love doing them, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah.
All right.
Okay, what's the next question?
All right. This is, we're going to get to the nitty gritty. Okay. The segment I like to call.
¿Te gusta el chisme?
Te gusta el chisme. Let me play that again because y'all probably didn't hear.
¿Te gusta el chisme?
There you go.
Mucho.
Yeah, I like to call it Te gusta el chisme. Do you like chisme gossip? And yeah, as you guys can see here, we have snacks. So I want to give a huge shout out to Jay's Dream for hooking it up, and also Sweets by Dre. Wait, let me make, no, sorry, apologize. Sweets by Dez. Bro, look at the packaging. It's so dope.
I love it. Can you guys tell Danny likes things black?
Yes, bro.
I told him I'm gonna look bald because like my black hair is gonna.
So we're gonna pick something out from here. Sorry, I already grabbed them. But Rosalie, go ahead.
Okay, let me see. Let me see what there is here.
Whatever you like.
Oh my gosh, they hooked you up.
Yes, they did. Shout out to Jay's and Sweet Bites.
Never go wrong with sandias.
Oh my god, I tried those already.
Wait, these are lifesavers. Okay, we're not gonna do those.
No, they're. Oh, these are peach. Do you like peach rings? No, wait.
These are bomb. Okay, wait.
I think these are
This one
sandias.
has everything, no?
It might be.
No, these are worms. I had worms once. It was hard to get rid of them. Let's do this one.
The nerds.
That was true though. My sister, we when we were kids, we used to play outside in the mud. Okay, so I got the nerds clusters, and these are the
Sweets by Dez.
No, I don't think these are sweet. Oh yeah, they are Sweets by Dez. Yes. I see the name. I'm also getting old, so I have to like read like.
I get toothpicks if you want some. And also in the mini fridge, guys, we have freaking drinks. We have tequila and everything.
And I want you guys to know that I'm very disappointed. There's no hair and makeup this morning. No concierge service.
Sorry.
TCR is really fucking up.
So yeah, we got our snacks.
Oh, they're good.
Dude, I love the clusters.
The clusters are like addicting.
Hell yes, I love them. Even just normal. That's yours. You could kill it, whatever you want.
I'm gonna eat it all day. I'm gonna eat it on the plane tonight.
Yeah.
I literally only came to be on the podcast, guys. To be a chismosa.
She's literally here for 24 hours.
24 hours.
I don't know what I got. Sorry, cut you off.
Wait, those are the.
They look like peach, huh?
Those are peach rings for sure.
It doesn't say on the thing.
So I love these spicy candies. These are good. They're not overly spicy. So if you like, don't like me a commercial. So if you don't like overly spicy,
oh my god,
but they have a kick.
These are fucking bomb.
The juicy ones, those are.
These are good. Damn, these are my go-to now.
He says that about all the candies.
No, I don't.
I brought coffee and he's like, "You're gonna need water because we're gonna eat spicy candies." And I already had a stomach ache this morning. I was like nervous. I'm like, what is he gonna ask me?
Just say the truth. You had chorro.
I really did. No, I did. And I was gonna Uber here, and then I was like, Cinder. Oh, wait, I guess I could say Cinder brought me. Cinder's like, yeah, I'll take you. I'm like, because it's gonna. What if I have to stop on the way? You know, like imagínate. It's happened before, and I've had experiences.
All right. So now, who the heck is calling me? All right. So now that we have our snacks, that's really fucking good. Sorry. Shout out to Jay's Dreams. Now that we have
that's going to be worth a muela podrida for sure.
It is. Me not going to a dentist in 3 years.
I'm like, just too much. So they don't tell you not to eat candy, right?
Yeah. Damn, that's good. I'm not even exaggerating. But all right,
I'm really proud of these small companies doing this. Like, that is so creative.
Yeah. Oh, yes. For those people that don't know, these are small business owners. They reached out to me because honestly, I was telling Rosalie, I was gonna put the generic candy, M&Ms, Kit Kat, whatever. I'm like, no, let me hit up small business owners to, if they want to be featured.
There's some cute chip bags up there too.
Yes.
What kind of chips are in there?
Hot Cheetos. You want some?
No.
No,
not right now. The coffee, the candy, and the chorro together.
No, thank you.
No, and Danny said if I use his bathroom, I have to go outside to the the special guest bathroom, which is a porta potty in the corner of the street. No, I'm just.
You saw that?
I saw the porta potty. I was like, that's for sure for me. Danny, somebody told him about the chorro.
Like, where's the bathroom? Okay, so you walk out the door, you take the left.
Yeah,
right.
You'll see a couple houses on the way. Ignore those and. a police officer yelling at you not to go in there, but just ignore them too. No, those are delicious. Okay.
They're fucking good.
Now we're going to get into this. Oh, wait. He gave me the spicy candy for the spicy content.
And
no.
Spicy CHISME.
Spicy CHISME. El CHISME is spicy. Everybody likes a little spice.
All right. Now, I don't even know where to get started. Let's just get started with the first one.
He kind of gave me a forewarning, but I really said that I'm here to be on his podcast. So, like, who am I to be like, can't talk about that? My publicist, I can't talk about that.
Ay, mira, muy chingona.
No, I don't have
all right. So, there has been recent CHISME with a specific person. Should I name names? No, I'm not going to name names. This is a podcast. This is not a CHISME report.
No, we're not sponsored. No.
Specific person that, with leak audios, which people are going to know who that person is, but they said you weren't a good salesperson. How do you honestly feel about that?
Man, you know what? Honestly, I understand that, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but, I mean, my whole career has been based on retail sales of beauty. And 90% of my income every month is based on sales. So I think that if I'm given the correct product and I fall in love with the brand and the product, then I think I sell. And if I don't, then that's maybe not my selling ability. It could be the brand. It could be the connection with the brand. I just do believe that and I'm only speaking this in a sense of like a brand talking about their affiliates. I think that if I make you $1 or if I make you $5 million, like $1 is something that was a gift to your family from me, And I think that also, for me, it caught me off guard because I only ever received a package from that brand one time, and I only opened it one time, and
There was nothing more than just that one time?
I only received one PR package from them in the time that I was affiliated. But I do want to use the opportunity to say that I feel like if a brand is talking about you, they should also deactivate your code because my admins told me that my code is still active today.
No mames, for real?
Yeah, so I think you can go on that website and type in code amiga and it's still so I do want to ask for them to deactivate it because I don't have contact with them and I have not had contact with them, especially now. I don't think that, and I think that's okay. I think we're all adults and it's okay to like not like people, but also like don't keep their codes active and not, because if I'm being accused of being fake, then like don't be fake back. Like do better, right? If you're mad at someone for being fake, then be better than them and don't be fake and don't talk behind their back. Also, I'm 37, and I feel like if you have somebody's number, also as a brand, I feel like if you're having affiliates who are having a hard time selling, maybe you reach out to them instead of talking behind their back and tell them like, hey, is there something wrong with my brand? Do you not feel connected with it? Maybe do you not have product knowledge on it? How can I help you as a brand so that you are successful with my brand?
Do you know companies that do that?
Yeah,
I could reach out.
Yeah, I work with. I have I'm very particular with my codes with the companies that I work with my codes. I try not to oversell as well. I try not to make every live because I believe that, it could be overwhelming sometimes to constantly be having sales and sales and sales, and our economy is so hard right now. And I think that's also why I do limit my selling lives where I'm doing sponsored lives and selling product is because I remember being that broke single mom and wanting to buy but not being able to. But yeah, so I just think that as a brand, I think that you definitely shouldn't talk about your affiliates without talking to them first because that was news to me. I've never been told that I suck before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you ever get an apology or no?
No, and I don't think I deserve. I mean, I don't expect an apology, but I think that a brand should apologize for doing things like that because now we're not talking about a person; we're talking about a company.
Just to be like professional.
Yeah, just to be professional. I think that apology about talking about your affiliates is something nice to do. I don't think it's something that you have to do. Nobody has to do anything. We live in a country where, luckily, we're free to make choices and think our own opinions. But I think it would be the right thing to do is to apologize to people that you talk about.
Yeah. Interesting. And not same topic, but I didn't ask, but someone sent me a message saying, I'm not going to name them because everyone's anonymous here, but they're like, yo, ask Rosali what went down at the Dallas event.
Oh.
How did she get treated? Well, okay. Well, sorry. When was the Dallas event?
The Dallas event, I believe, was last April. Yeah, last April it was April for sure.
2021?
2021.
Or no, 2022.
2021. 2022, yes.
Yeah, we're in 2023.
I'm like, what year is it? It's the shifting of time.
Yeah.
No, but so I was called one day when somebody was having issues with another person, and they said that they really needed friends around, and that if we could fly in and spend time with them because they were going through like stress and something. And it was a situation that it's not for me to talk about. But so I flew in, or we flew into LA and drove here to Arizona to come be with that person. And she said, you know, I was going to have an event with this person, and now what am I going to do? Like, would you want to be a special guest? And I said, oh, yeah, absolutely. Because honestly, like the kind of person that I am is if I can do something, like I'm here. And I'm not paid to be here. Danny didn't pay my flight. Danny didn't pay my hotel. Danny didn't even pay for my coffee. I was going to buy him a coffee.
She was, but I said, no, I had my coffee earlier. No, but that's another thing that people, I don't want to take anything away from, we'll get into it.
We'll get into it, yeah.
That you don't pay for shit, but.
I don't pay for anything.
We'll get into that later.
No, I'm down. Like when Danny and I first started talking, he said, "Would you ever come do an interview with me?" And I said, "When I'm better mentally," because Danny was one of those very kind people that would check in on me here and there. Thank you for that, by the way. So I did. I told him, yeah, absolutely. I would love to come on your page and just have a sit-down conversation with you that maybe a little bit of CHISME, but a little bit of getting to know each other. Because you're a really cool kid. You know, you remind me a lot of my little brother. Because how old are you?
26.
Yeah, my little brother's 28. So I'm like, Danny could be my little brother.
And we were forced to be.
Yeah, this friendship is a force. I'm like, we have to give in.
Yeah, and we'll talk about.
We'll talk about that. So what happened in Dallas? So I was invited to be a special guest, and then with a group of girls, and I was happy to do it. I was my flight was paid to go there. I did go look because I wanted to make sure that I don't give false information. And I was told that we were going to stay in an Airbnb, and the Airbnb was a 3-bedroom or maybe a 4-bedroom, but there was a master where the brand owner and her husband were going to stay. And then they had another influencer that had a partner there with her that had their room. And then everybody else was going to share the other 2 rooms, I believe. Honestly, like I had been dealing with a lot of, I don't drink. I've been told by a doctor that I have a mild alcohol sensitivity. So like when I drink, my hands get really itchy, my face gets itchy, and my tongue goes numb. So I can have a drink or a couple of drinks, but more than that.
You prefer the other stuff.
I prefer to take edibles. And actually that's something new for me too. I'll tell you about that. Okay. But, just because it chills you out and you're just like happy, you know, it's like, it takes you out of your mind and you're like, it can actually take you into a dark place or a happy place, depending on what your mind is. But so I was invited, and I have a really good friend, Jen Gerard, who lives in Dallas. And I said, hey, if there's no room in the Airbnb for Jose and I to have a room, can I stay? And she's like, absolutely. So we ended up staying at her house. And that night, it was the first night that we got there, we flew in. And I didn't have a rental. I was just, driving around with everybody's cars. And I was told to pick up somebody from the airport that was on their team while they were at bars, because I don't go to bars. And after I was physically assaulted a year ago, I have a really hard time being in dark places where I don't know who's around me. It's just, I know that person's not going to show up and be there, but it's the trauma response to being in that environment.
The event was after the whole.
Yeah. So the event was the night we got there, everybody went to bars to party, but I didn't. And we stayed behind. We were making goodie bags. And I got a message from the brand owner saying like, hey, like pick up this person at the airport. And I was like, pick up. I had already taken an edible. So I was like, I gave the phone to another person that was there. And I'm like, tell her that answer for me, because I can't even respond right now. Yeah. And then the person was going to arrive at 2:30 in the morning, and other people were being picked up at the airport, but it was Jen picking up the other person at the airport, and I didn't feel like it would be fair for me to be like, hey, Jen, while you're there, will you pick up another person? So we ended up ordering that person in Uber. She gave us the wrong address, went to the wrong Airbnb, got in somehow. I don't know how she actually got into the Airbnb. I got a message literally attacking me, telling me like, if you weren't going to pick her up yourself, like, how dare you? Like, this is uncalled for. Like, it was your responsibility to pick her up, and now she's in the wrong Airbnb. Like, just horrible. Like, it was one of the meanest messages that I had ever gotten from a brand that I was working with. And so it kind of threw me off, and it had me feeling like I didn't want to be there. Like, I literally wanted to buy a flight and go home that day. But my friends were there, and they were like, no, it's okay. It's going to be fine. Like, just, go to the event. It's whatever. The next day, the owner woke up and pretty much texted me and said, I'm sorry for messaging you that, but you need to communicate with me. And I was like, and honestly, I was just there to be a friend and a guest. And yes, I was paid, but I was paid later. I wasn't paid before I went. So I didn't, and even I went and looked at my messages, and I even said, like, I didn't expect to get paid. I was doing a favor for a friend. I was happy to do it. But that's what happened. And I just felt like I was treated wrong. And I had been in the point already where I was starting to try to stick up for myself, because I always let myself be treated like crap. It's like a thing. Like, I'm like, whatever, I'm tough. I can handle it. I don't care. They're like, you're no están en sus cinco sentidos. Like my dad used to say, let them do. But I started to stick up for myself, and I talked to the brand. The brand, like, she customer serviced me, because that's what she says. She says she customer serviced you, like, tells you what you want to hear, apologized. But then I guess continued to talk about me behind my back. Because I got some messages where my mental health was being made fun of, and I was being called weird, and being said that they were all laughing at me because I was so weird and that I wasn't the same. And I'm like,
it's funny that the people that made fun of you, now they're going through some shit like mental health. Yeah. I'm going like this, mental health, because that's what they were telling about you. Like, it's not real, it's fake. I'm like, no, I thought at first when, I believed you 100%.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you see what I've gone through, I lost my dad 1 year, and the next year I'm physically assaulted by a whole family. It's who wouldn't have mental health issues after that? But my mental health now, I'm understanding that I've always been healing what I was going through in the moment, but you have to start your healing from when it started. And my mental health, my trauma started at 6 years old, and now I'm healing that 6-year-old Rosalie, which completely, like, I tell Jose this, I don't even know who I am anymore, because I'm getting to know who I should have been, like a healed version of myself. I'm really enjoying it, because I feel a lot of strength in that, in healing. Also, I never want to be where I was. It was such a scary moment of, like, I was writing goodbye letters to my family.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
It's because your brain feels so, like, tired. Like, you're tired of being anxious all the time. That it feels like a relief to not be anxious. Yeah. Sorry. No, I cry a lot. So
you're fine. You're fine. There's paper towels right there.
I have to preparo. I told them, ask the hard questions at the end. I'm trying to hold it back, though, because I want to really answer with, like, my heart, you know?
No, I put paper towels there because of Chile candies.
Oh, yeah, and in case I sharp.
No, the Chile candies, okay.
Yeah.
But
so I think that for me, it was really hard to see somebody that I went, and also, like, I really liked her. I really liked that person. When I hung out with her the first time, we made her a baby shower for her last baby that she has, the little girl. I said, oh, you've never had a baby shower? We're making you a baby shower tomorrow. And we went out and got decorations, and we made her a baby shower. And I knew her for less than a couple days, and that's just who I am. And honestly, people are like, you're too trusting, but I don't want to change who I am because people don't know how to treat me. Like, I've always been a trusting, kind person. It's what I was raised to be. I think if you grow up in a Hispanic family, you know that you're raised to be kind and give. Like, if you ever have family in Mexico, you'll go into their house. They'll be the poorest family, but they'll offer you everything that they have. They'll be like, are you tired? Do you want to take a nap on the bed? Are you hungry? They'll open their fridge. Even if they only have 2 things in there, they'll offer them to you. That's how I was raised.
So you wouldn't say you have a guard up? like a wall? What probably
Now
now
I do.
you do.
Now I do.
But
for
back
sure.
then you
No.
didn't.
I would make. I always tell people this. I always give people the benefit of the doubt because I want people to give me the benefit of the doubt. I know people have heard horrible things about me, and I want them to give me the chance to show them that that's not who I am before they make that choice. So I do that for others, and I ignore red flags. Like, I will be the first to tell you that, like, I know things are wrong, but I'm like, but they're not doing it to me. And then when it turns on you, then you can't say like, oh,
yeah,
and I know better now. I'm learning at this this young age of 37.
Obviously, situations change a person,
Yeah,
and
they do.
situations change you.
And honestly, I think that for me specifically, things have to like. I love endlessly. I love friendships endlessly, and I do anything for them. So they almost have to end like I'll give people the opportunity to apologize over and over and over, and I'll keep giving chances, and I won't ever hold resentment. And now I have to understand that when people show you who they are, you have to believe it, and you have to move forward in the right way, whatever the right way is for you, because everyone has like their decision, and live a healthy life, because I feel like on top of my mental health, I was using edibles as a way to block my mental health. Like, if I didn't feel it, it wasn't real. So I literally was taking edibles morning to night. Like, I would take 10 milligrams, and when those wore off, I would take another 10, and that was for like months. And that was probably not helping my mental health. So I had to recognize where I was going wrong, and heal, like, and now I can take an edible to sleep, at night, and that's it.
I needed one of those last night. I couldn't sleep, but
I didn't bring my stash on the plane with me this time.
Oh yeah, I forgot they called you a
drug dealer.
A dealer también. No, but now that you're obviously in the topic of edibles, there was a situation that happened probably last year también, where a certain someone, and like, I'm not gonna name names, but they said you talk shit about their kid. When I saw the video where they said, oh, you were talking shit, I was like, I don't know if you saw my report, but I was like, wow, that's shitty of Rosali.
Yeah.
But obviously not knowing, what did you say? What did you actually say to the kid?
I mean, I don't know if I said it to the kid. I would have to like go back in time and like go through my I know there was no recording of it. I just think that sometimes when an adult calls another adult out on maybe a parenting issue, like, I guess I'm the kind of friend that if you tell me like your child's being mean to my child or your child's being mean to me, I'll just correct it, because I don't want to go off on the child. Imagine, like, that'd be worse, right? So I think if like you call out somebody being mean, for example, I think, and I'm not sure what situation it is, but
do you mind putting the mic closer? Yeah, sorry.
For the sound effect. I think that for example, like, I think what happened was we were spending the weekend together, and there was somebody that was like, she kept playing with us, but like hitting our legs. And I said, like, why is she being so mean? And I said it to the wrong person, I guess, because it was mean. I mean, if you're being hit in the legs, it's mean. And I guess that got taken into you're talking crap about a kid. But I think it's an action. I think talking crap about a kid is like when you're making fun of them for the way they look, or not for like them hitting you in the legs. Like, that's calling it out. And you have to call it out in the moment. I can't call it out 2 days later. Like, if it's happening in the moment, like if I do something to hurt you, you call me out in that moment. Don't hold on to it and wait to use it as a weapon later, Like, if it upset those people, they could have told me in that moment privately, like it happened. Rosali, like, it upset me that you said my child was being mean to you. Like, what did she do that was mean? There's a lot of things that have happened on the back end of things, and it's not for me to expose or say, but I don't think that anybody in the situation is perfect. But one thing I will always do is I will stand up for my son. And there have been situations where my son is treated differently by children, because he acts different. He's got his quirks. He likes to like flap his hands. He jumps. He does things that other children aren't used to seeing. But I don't. I'm his voice. I will forever be his voice. And if it makes me a bad person, then I guess I'll be a bad person.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know if, I'm pretty sure it's every culture, because I was gonna say that's what we do as Mexicans. Like, if you see a kid, you'll tell them on the spot, like, stop doing that. I probably would have got canceled a bunch of times if
around your nieces
Yes.
and nephews.
Yes.
My nephew Felipe is a travieso, and I call him like Felipe. No, because he will hit me sometimes. He thinks I'm because we roughhouse, little boys roughhouse. But I just think that as one, friends, and two, or ex-friends or friendship that maybe we did have, maybe we didn't. I don't know. I think that it's a conversation that could have been had privately. And especially when there's like no proof of it. Like, I don't even know what the situation is specifically. I can only think of like 2 different situations where I called out actions. But I've never talked down on it.
It wasn't anything mean.
I've never made fun of a child's appearance, which I have had people tell me that other children are, unattractive. And it's weird because it's like, wait, so other people's children are off limits, but your children are off limits, but other people's aren't,
Wait, am I getting this is the same person that?
Yeah, like I feel like the same people who didn't want me to call out, for whatever reason, somebody being mean, like has no problem calling out other people's situations.
Other kids?
Maybe.
Oh, hey, you're on the CHISME report.
But again, like I just don't want to like to defend myself. I don't also want to have to like expose private conversations, not because I respect them, but because I respect the privacy of a friendship.
Yeah.
I
mean, but I feel like when you got to bring receipts, you got to bring them though.
I mean, I had to a couple of times.
Yeah. I reached out to you with the whole situation.
Yeah,
you're not paying
people. Yeah.
And it's funny though, because even though I showed receipts, people still.
It's called goalpost moving. Yeah. Like, okay, you show that. They're like, well, but then why did you keep them? So like, you can never make people happy. So you have to make yourself happy. I think that's the one thing that, I learned recently, and I'm continuing to live, is that in order for my family to be happy and in order for my environment to be happy, I have to be happy too. And a lot of times you put yourself on the back burner so that everyone else is okay. But if the top of the pyramid is falling down, then the rest of the pyramid is going to fall,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Crazy times.
But I honestly want to say this. I have no hard feelings towards anyone. I think that life brings people together and life takes people apart. And I just am happy to move forward and to live a healthier life for me.
Literally, you're like the girls say it on Facebook. You're glowing.
Oh, it's a highlight. Marilyn Gerard Cosmetics. Just kidding.
Not sponsored. No, but seriously, you're like a whole different person. A lot of people have seen it too. I've been getting comments when I do like CHISME report, and I don't know why people still love to bring your name.
Yeah, it's a cool name, Rosali.
And then, or they say R.
Yeah.
No, but then I mean your fan base, it's like, no, she's changed or whatever.
Oh no, I've like put so much work into myself that like I feel so dumb for waiting this long. I'm like, oh my gosh, because clearly, like, I have dealt with therapy, but I've never taken it serious. Like, look, anybody can go to therapy and anybody can tell you they're going to therapy and they could tell you what they hear at therapy, but you have to live it 24 hours a day. You can't even step out of it for a minute. Like, is this the right choice for me? Like, what am I going to do today to fulfill this goal? Like, I wake up every morning and I set a goal for myself. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go live. I'm going to do homework. I'm going to, like dye my, whatever it is, set goals for your day, because even the littlest goals are accomplishment when your brain didn't even want you to be here anymore, and I don't want to say the S word, but it was something that was like very much that at the time. So setting future goals and setting daily goals has been the biggest change, and just living a cleaner life. I think sometimes when your environment is toxic, and I'm going to say toxic because it was toxic to me. Maybe to them or to the people around me at the moment, to them that's not toxic, but to me it was a toxic environment. You can't heal, and healing starts with cleaning up your environment and understanding where you went wrong. And look, I'm the first one to raise my hand and say I contributed and I stayed around for a lot of conversations. Okay, so when people say like Rosalie did this, you have to, I always think like, remember, this is a two-way conversation.
Yeah.
It's always a two-way conversation. If I said something, then what made me feel comfortable saying that to that person, right?
Correct.
Period.
Period poo.
Period poo.
No, but I also noticed like, yeah, you're totally right. And like I was saying, you've changed in a lot of people's eyes, and a lot of people, I don't want to name names, but people here in the Facebook community, they would say you were the problem. Rosalie. always had your name on your mouth. But you left. You don't hang out with anyone, and there's still problems with with friendships. Like, bro, how y'all have to look at it. I guess what's going on right now.
I think I was a problem. I think the problem was the fact that I think we all know better. I don't think I'm the problem. I think our community is the problem. I think we all know better. Like, here's a beauty space where we can, with a bunch of Latina women, and you guys know that we're a minority in this space. And instead of bringing each other up and cheering each other on, even if you're not friends, even if you're not fans, you do it by just letting every person glow. But when you're in the background talking about people, and I'm guilty of it too. Like when people are like, Rosalie's not innocent. No, like nobody's innocent. Because the conversations are two-way conversations. If I was sitting there talking to myself, then I hope that somebody would have got me help sooner. But, like if I was sitting there answering, hey, Rosalie, you hear this? Rosalie, yeah. But I think that the beauty community on Facebook, or just the content community now, I guess, because it's not only beauty, is really not healthy. Not healthy. And I want to live healthy. So if that means me calling myself, and I say I'm Rosalie, not influencer, because I want to influence people to be better for themselves. And to have a healthy life with their children, a healthy life with their partners, and a healthy life with themselves. And I wasn't doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
But but now we're back, bitches. I'm just joking. I'm still in the process. Every day is different, I've been diagnosed with a few different things. I have PTSD, complex PTSD. I have anxiety disorder. I have manic depression. I have a lot of things wrong with me, and I have to continue to heal for the rest of my life. If I stop healing, then I could fall again. It's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm just wanted to let you know you're strong. You're a strong woman. You've been through a lot, and one of these things, I don't want to bring it up, but it's something. It's part of your story of how you got here. But with this whole, you getting attacked, when I asked you, how did you overcome it? Because I know it was something really big. I don't know if you probably heard it because I made a video about it, but I didn't know you. That's how
I found you the first time. When you reported on it.
When I reported on it, I did not know. I was like, who the heck is this? My messages were blowing up. But how did you overcome that whole drama?
Oh man.
And the hate.
You know what? It engrossed my life. It took over. I wanted so hard justice so bad that it literally, like, I would sit there and screen record things, and I'm like, I'm gonna need this and I'm gonna need that. And I just I had to move on, because I was literally gonna go insane. Letting it take over my world. And when you let something take over so drastically, and it's literally consuming your brain in anger, and it makes me no better than the people that attacked me. So violence is very triggering to me. All violence now. I notice that it's not just before. You guys might know my beginnings. I survived a pretty scary domestic violence situation. I was married at 18. I was a young mom, and he attempted against my life, and I ended up moving to LA. I went to live with an aunt in LA. That's how I had to get away from him. So violence has always been very triggering to me. Being touched and being if I'm not instigating the hug, then don't touch me, like that. But I think I just had to for my son, because I'm his person. Fabian missed so much school that year that I felt guilty. I'm because I was depressed. I was laying in bed. I would get up just to go live. People think that because you go live that you're fine, but a lot of times you're using every ounce of that positive energy that you have, and it's not a lot to do it during that live. So yeah, I just I got close to my family too. I have a really close family: my sister, my mom, my brothers, and my kids. And I think for me, the determining factor was when my 19-year-old son told me he was depressed, watching me be depressed.
Oh wow! Was this recently then?
Yeah, he told me that if he had to watch me go through this, that he didn't want to live anymore. And I looked at him and I said, well, if I have to stay here, then you have to stay here. And we made a pact that we would both get better. And we did. I'm doing it for my kids.
Oh, you're strong. Here, do you want to?
A moco? But yeah, that's how, honestly, just taking healing seriously. I've always been spiritual. But my mom is very Catholic mom. Like, todo es pecado. I'm like, ay, mom, no es pecado. I told her, I was telling her the other day that when the first time she caught me wearing tampons, she told me that was a pecado.
Oh, wow.
Que ya no era señorita. I'm like, woo, mom, ni sabes? I'm just joking. I told her that now, though. I'm like, well, you know, well, that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, that's how I got through it. I got close to my family, and I let go of anger.
And I bet you feel much better.
Oh, I go to
100%.
sleep every night. Like, I feel like for a long time, I was like, what are they saying? What's happening? What is this? What is that? And it was just taking over that I wasn't able to enjoy the like everyday things in life. And now I enjoy life differently. And my dad fought to live for 4 years. How stupid of me to just like give up. So no, I'm a fighter. You knock me down twice, I get up 3 times. You knock me down 3 times, I get up 4 times. You know? Like,
yeah.
That's how it is. Those are the only options once you're a mom, especially a mom for a special needs kid, because I know he needs me. I think that's what snapped me out of it, is knowing that Fabian needed me for the basics, just the everyday needs. Yeah.
Yeah, you're his number one person.
I am. I'm his voice.
Well, I'm glad you overcame. And like I said, I'm gonna say this a lot of times. You've changed a lot.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be better.
Like you said it's still a process, but
it's going to be a lifelong process. It is. It's you never stop. I tell people, you know, we have 2 options. If you've been abused in your life, you either become an abuser or you become a healer. You heal other people. And I want to stop the cycle for my family. So I'm not going to let my family watch me go through that, because then my son would have to go through that with his, and it never stops. So somebody has to get off the hamster wheel, and it was me for me.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, thank you, Danny.
But enough sad, okay?
No more crying.
No more crying.
But honestly, this is good, because usually I do the Kim Kardashian, like.
No, I said enough sad because I know you have questions.
I have questions. Okay, you guys, I have questions for Danny.
Rosalie came prepared. I'm like, am I interviewing you? Or
no, I'm like, this is the beginning. Me? This is the beginning of a new podcast. Just kidding. Okay, so questions for Danny. I have it under my notes here. What's the worst job you've ever had, Danny?
Amazon, for sure.
Really? Did you pick?
No, I stowed. Not like stealing, and it's called stowed, like where you put product in the counters, in the shelves. I mean, that was the worst.
Really? Did they pay like?
It was $13 an hour.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what? I think I'm gonna change my mind. Nah, let's go with Amazon, because there was another job that also sucked, but I got paid pretty well.
Oh yeah, if you're getting paid well to suck, then do it.
Well, that's
Danny, that new CHISME starting. Danny got paid to suck. Okay. Okay. Next question is one fun fact that no one knows about you.
Damn, that you put me on the spot. I like musicals. No,
you like music? No, like High School Musical is my favorite movie.
No, actually, no. I hate musicals, but High School Musical is pretty good. Yeah, I was playing around, but no, for real.
He likes High School Musical.
I like High School Musical.
Wait, wasn't that the one Ariana Grande was in? No. Oh, there was like a pop star that was in one of those movies.
Vanessa Hudgens?
Oh, yeah, Vanessa. Yeah. Yes.
It was her.
Okay, what does Amanda call you when she's mad, and what does she call you when you guys are like lovey-dovey mode?
She calls me Daniel, because my name is Daniel. It's not Danny.
You know you're in trouble when she's like, Daniel.
Mm-hmm. When she's lovey-dovey, baby, or bub.
Bub, not Chubba Wubba.
Not fuck that.
She's like, come here, you sexy Chubba Wubba. Imagine. She's like, ooh. And he's like, ooh, I like it when you say it like that.
I like it when you call me Chubba Wubba.
Okay, and what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were a kid?
Believe it or not, but y'all gonna think this is so cheesy or whatever, but what I'm doing now, literally not podcasting, but a YouTuber / someone on the internet.
You always wanted to do this.
Always. I literally have videos on YouTube when I was in middle school. They're still up.
That's crazy.
I need to find them though, because I don't.
We need receipts.
Yeah,
come with the receipts. What does he say? Come with the receipts.
Exactly. No, if I find it, I'll edit it this right here. But no,
insert right here. No.
Yeah, but no, I've always wanted to become a gamer actually, or someone on the internet. But you know, gaming with my mom. With gaming, it comes with you have to be there a long period of time, and I was on my chair for like 6 to 8 hours a day.
Really?
And I'm like, Mom, Dad, I could make something out of this. And I was blaming like, damn, you see, if I wouldn't have stopped me, I would have been famous. I would have been a big ass gamer. But yeah, no, someone on the internet.
You know what I wanted to be? I wanted to be like, I was in high school, I was very much into activist work. So I wanted to be a community activist for the Latino community. Oh. My first job ever was at a community center called Mano a Mano Community Center in Salem. And it was a place where like migrant families can go get like services, like food services. We teach them English. There was literacy classes. That was what I wanted to be. I wanted to be like Cesar Chavez, but like Rosali vibes. That's what I wanted to be. Okay, and tell us what do you think is the juiciest chisme you've ever shared? And it could be YouTube or Facebook or anything, like the juiciest.
I've ever
personally, because you know we all have our opinion to what we think is juicy. You like, personally, like
what happened with me, chisme?
No,
or
like
what I covered
that you've covered. What do you think is the juiciest? That when you got it, you were like, ha, 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 ha.
I don't know. That's a hard one because
there's been a lot of juicy chisme lately, or what?
No, well, one, the Maybe thing was good, but if I'm being honest, it was a skit, like people would call it. Another one would be, have you heard of the Ace family?
Oh yes,
I would cover them a lot, and their brother and ex-sister-in-law. So
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw it on your channel. I think
it might be that. Like Landon and Shyla, I covered that, and I was covering it like almost every day. My channel turned into fucking
fan page.
Yeah, literally of them. That's why I stopped growing. But no, I covered them, and yeah, and she put me on her video. She came out with a video, and she put me on her video. I was like, oh shit, I made it.
Wow, that's so fun.
But it might have been that. I've covered a lot. So.
Okay, and then the last question, and this one is a requested question. What is the first chisme that you ever reported on?
That's simple. I always say it. It's Candy Aguilar and Maria Stella chisme.
When they got in a fight at the Airbnb.
Miami. Yeah.
I think that's where I found you. I've been at TCR. Like, people are like, oh my God, Rosalie's over there. Like, I've followed you since then. Like, I love little chismes here.
I caught you in a lie. You say you found me.
No, I didn't follow you. I think I recently followed you again. Because I feel like. Yeah, yesterday. He's like, I got the unfollow and follow. I think that YouTube, because I was like, why wasn't I getting notified anymore for your YouTube? Because I would always get the little pop-up.
Yeah.
And then I went and looked, and I wasn't following you on YouTube anymore. And I was like, should I block them just to make it extra interesting?
No, but that was my first, and that one kind of like took off, because my videos I would vlog, but bro, 100 views a video, and then I remember that day because I put that video out, and then my parents like, let's go to dinner. So me and Amanda were getting ready. I was like, wait, let me just post this real fast. Like, we ran late too. I posted it. We went to dinner, and my phone was blowing up in dinner. And then I was like, you said your video reached 10,000 views. I'm like, what the fuck? If I've never seen 10,000 views. So I was like, damn, people love this. So let me continue this.
And then here you are.
Yeah.
Before we get off, because I know we're kind of coming to the end, Danny's got things to do. So I want to tell you guys how Danny and I connected.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting story.
So Danny was reporting on what happened to me in Los Angeles, and then reporting on what happened to me this summer. And I was commenting on your in your comment section, and he said, do you want to talk? And I said, yeah, like I want to share my side, because I feel like there's 3 sides to every story, and that's true, like everybody has their own perception of what happened. But I have a really bad habit of not deleting anything on my phone. I literally have like 50,000 emails, and I have to like pay now to have more emails because I like filled up my email, and it's just me because I'm too lazy to sit there.
Just delete it.
And so with telling you guys my mental health was so bad. I was being told that I was doing things and I didn't remember doing them. So then I would go back and read what was happening. And I was like, wait a minute, that didn't happen that way. And that didn't happen that way. And that didn't happen that way. So gaslighting is real, guys. Don't let people gaslight you because it will mess up your brain. Like it's dangerous. And so I messaged him and I told him jokingly at the end of the conversation, you're on the wrong platform. All the Chisme is on Facebook. And he's like, really? If I come over and I have questions, will you answer them? And I was like, sure. And then like 2 weeks later, you're like popping. And he did it all on his own. Nobody shared him. Nobody like pulled him out there. Like you got on there and you started like growing and getting your following by itself. And it was almost like they were waiting. I feel like Facebook didn't have like a English Chisme channel. Like there's like the Spanish
ones, yeah.
But there's not English. And I think that's really good for us. I think our platform needed some accountability. But it's sad now because it's almost like people want to do bad things now to get on. Yeah. Which that's not what the point is, you know? Like the point is that we don't want I told Danny this. We have this agreement in this forced friendship is that if I do something to deserve to be on your page, then I'm like, I'll be on there. Like there's no special treatment here. Like no, trust me. Like he'll report it. If I give him content, he's going to report on it. And that's the way it is. I mean, that's the way it should be. But super proud of you, by the way.
Thank you. And I'm always going to give props to you and my subscriber, a longtime subscriber, shout out Melissa, because you guys both told me, yo, hop on Facebook. And I tried it once way before. I think it was 2021 or 2022. I don't remember. I got on it. They deleted my account. I wasn't following community guidelines. I'm like, what the hell? This is my first day. I literally just reposted the video from YouTube to there.
They were scared. They didn't want the smoke.
Yeah, I was like, nah, F that. And actually this the video I posted was about the Rivera family, Juan Rivera and
yeah, they did it. They did it. They called Mark. They're like, Mark, get him down right now.
So they took it off, and then I was like, nah, F that. I'm gonna stick to YouTube. And then I don't know what I was going through, not a midlife crisis, but how you were saying in the beginning, like if you're not seeing the views, your mental health, like it declines.
You start devaluing yourself.
So I went on YouTube from having like 60,000 views to 2,000. Imagine how I felt. And I was praying to God, like, what the heck do I do?
So my Chisme came as a blessing to you. Great.
No.
One person's downfall is another person's paycheck.
No. Hear me out. No, this was when I was having, I was in this house because this house, we just recently moved a year ago. It was way past your Chisme. It was like when it was dead, I guess. So I was getting 2,000 views. And I was watching a person on YouTube. It's like tarot cards. I like reading tarot cards. And he was saying, what you want to do is literally right in front of your eyes. I'm like, what the heck? And I think it was Facebook. Like, literally, I started a Facebook page because you were telling me, Melissa was telling me. And all of a sudden.
And we weren't friends, guys. Like, we weren't. I was just like, you're just on the wrong platform, sir. Like, you're not. And he's like, really? And I'm like, all the Chismes on Facebook. And I think that Facebook needed accountability. I think when you came, we were all like cockroaches hiding. You know, when you turn on the light and then they hide like that. Like, oh my gosh, like someone's going to like expose our truths. Yeah. But I think it's also when you're held accountable, it's for our community. I mean, you know, like accountability, when you lose accountability, it becomes a madhouse. It becomes like havoc, you know? So I think you've brought a lot of accountability to our platform. And it's so cool to watch you. Like, I watch all of Danny's lives, you guys, even if they're not about me. Like, I sit through them at the gym. I'm on the treadmill. Like, I always tell them, like, oh my God, I'm watching Danny. Like, I hate seeing my name come up, but it's almost like now I'm like expected. I'm like, LOL, like, ha ha ha, you know? But I'm proud of you, by the way. And look at you. You're doing great. You're almost you're going to hit them at 100,000 this year for sure.
Hopefully. I don't know. Share. No.
Sure.
But yeah, I wouldn't picture myself here interviewing you or anyone else. Like,
well, I'm tiny compared to next in a couple years. Danny's gonna be like, oh, who's that girl, Rosali? No. I'm so proud of you for sure. And like, you're a new dad and your family, and you look at what you've built with Chisme. See, look at what we're building him.
Yeah, thank you so much. No, it means a lot. Because I don't know if you know, I'm gonna just bring this up real quick. But on YouTube, I'm not gonna say any names, but you know how you were saying here on Facebook, I did it by myself, but on YouTube, there was a person that told me that he made me. Like, he's like, oh, you only got these followers because I made you. I was like, oh, really? Okay, but
and if they knew, they're in the wrong place.
I'm here
we
now.
won't share the secrets. No, I mean it's a good thing, and I love that you still held on to your YouTube at the same time. Like, and I love if you guys don't know, like if you guys are watching on Facebook, if you go to the YouTube, he puts timestamps on there as well. So
Yeah, I wish Facebook had that. It's so much easier.
yeah, so like if you just want to hear like a certain amount, it puts it on there, which is really cool. A lot of creators don't do that because they want you to watch the whole video to get through it. But that's really cool because people just want to come for that.
Yeah.
And I think the way Facebook is going is that they want content. They don't want us to just get on and stare at the camera. Like they're looking for people to create content. Channels, like channels of things, like gamers and like
CHISME report,
or just like podcast things. Like that's what they're looking for. And so like you're doing great, and that's why your page is growing so fast.
Yeah, thank God, thank the Lord, and my son Judas right there. Look,
for sure, we love we love a spiritual moment.
yes. But yeah, thank you, Rosali, for coming on.
Happy to be here. Woo!
Anything you want to say before we leave?
Just remember to be kind to each other because we get so invested in other people's angers and other people's frustrations. And then to remember that it could be us tomorrow because the tables turn. The one thing about the tables is that they always turn.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say, we're in people's business. I'm like, oh, throwing shade to me, huh?
And don't suck. I mean, we learned that too in this thing. No, just be a good person and treat people how you want to be treated. Because I think at the end of the day, a lot of people come and attack, and then when it's their turn, they don't like that. They don't like the same feeling.
Yeah.
So and remember, like I'm somebody. You're somebody's daughter. You're somebody's brother. You're somebody's aunt. And if I was your sister, your cousin, your aunt, your tia, your mom, would you want to see somebody treated like that? But we do make money. We do make money. We do make money off of social media. But I like it when the CHISME is more funny. It doesn't have to be like so dark. So let's make it a good place. Because we share a platform. People are like always like, why do you care what other people do? And I'm like, because it's our platform. We share it. It's like Facebook's our house and we all live in it. And if someone disrespects the house, then the house can come crumbling down and we all lose.
And it affects all of us.
All of us. So that's why we care,
Yeah.
So be good to yourself.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, it means a lot.
Woo. I know. I came all the way from Oregon. He's like, but Rosalie, there's like, I don't have a budget. And I'm like, well, lucky for you, I lost my debit card. That's an inside joke. Somebody said that I always lose my debit card. But do you want to know something? Kid you not? Let me call somebody really quick. Can we call a special guest?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Just make sure.
I'm gonna ask him, babe. Tell me what happened. Like he doesn't even know that we're in podcast right now.
Just put it on the mic if you want him on.
Hello.
Hey, babe, you're on the podcast right now, so say nice things, okay? Hey, babe, tell Danny what happened to my financial situation right before I left the house. What did I have to order?
Oh, your debit card.
What happened to it?
You lost it.
The rumors are right then.
The rumors are true. I was trying to get Danny to pay for everything. It didn't work, babe.
No.
Say hi to the podcast.
Hello.
All right, babe. Love you. I'll call you when we're done.
All right.
Bye. Yeah, I lost my debit card, and I was like, like you guys, before things were talked about, I've been trying to get here. Like if it wasn't weather, if it wasn't a family member passing, Jose lost an uncle last week to cancer. I was like, no. And then Jose's like, go. Get on that flight and go. And I was like, we're going. And I didn't say anything. I was like, if I don't say anything, maybe nobody will do brujeria on it, you know? Just kidding, no brujeria.
Yeah, it's, we got La Tercera es la vencida.
La Tercera, we did it. I'm like, Danny probably doesn't even believe I'm coming at this point.
No, yeah, Amanda was all like, are you sure she's coming? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, she's already on the plane. She's on the plane right now.
Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's podcast. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. And once again, thank you, Rosali, for coming all the way over here to Phoenix.
I'm happy to be here.
All right.
I'm leaving tonight, so nobody look for me around here, around these parts. Just kidding.
Well, this is going to post it tomorrow.
This is posted tomorrow. I'm already home. If you guys want to know, I made it home safe. Watch it on the news. Rosalie didn't make it home. Just kidding.
Nah, don't say that. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys, or I'll see you guys in the next one.
I'll see you guys in the comments. I know. Be nice.
Yes, be nice.